So in order to have and maintain good shoulder health, one of the main things to focus on is your position when you're doing anything throughout the day. Any lifting, carrying, pushing, pulling, whatever you're doing, the main thing you want to think about is that you always have your chest open, so you don't want to have shoulders forward or rounded back. You want to always have the chest open. You want to think about pulling your shoulders away from the socket, so you're lengthening your pecs and your chest. And then you also want to think about having your shoulder blades drawn down. So think about bringing them down to your back pockets and locking them down, and that's going to take the upper traps off a little bit and use your lats, the bigger back muscles, to support your back and to also put your joints in an optimal position for stability. So whatever you're doing, just think chest open, pulling out this way, shoulders down, setting the shoulders, and then whatever you're lifting, whether you're carrying a baby, picking up heavy weights or tools, boxes, pushing open heavy doors, just think of locking your shoulder blades down, having your chest open, and you should have your shoulders in an optimal position to keep them safe and happy. So if I was going to give you one stretch to loosen up your shoulders, it would probably be a stretch for your pec muscles, because everyone's got relatively tight pec muscles. If you spend any time on the computer, or if you just have poor posture, you're going to have pretty tight pecs, or if you're a guy and do too much chest press as well. So there's a couple of ways you can stretch out your pecs, but I'll show you a way where you don't need anything. You don't need a wall or a doorway. You can just do it wherever you are, basically. So the best way to do it is to have one hand just on the pec muscle on your chest, and you're going to start by bringing your arm up at about 90 degrees and reaching back and just gently running your fingers along the pec muscle as if you're trying to lengthen it as you do that. And then you're going to bring your arm back, and you're going to bring it up, and you're going to reach back. Try and open up the shoulder as well, so don't kind of reach back and not move the shoulder at all and just reaching back with your arm. You want to actually get that shoulder back and open so you can feel a bit of a stretch happening over here. So you do a few repetitions at that height, and then you can go up to a 45-degree angle in the same thing, reaching back, trying to externally rotate, so think thumb going back behind you as you're reaching the arm back. So 90 degrees and then 45 degrees. Just do a few reps at each until you feel like there's been a little bit of loosening up, and then you can also try and just go relatively straight up and behind you. Again, leading with the thumb goes up and back, and you're only doing some very gentle pushing across of the muscles with the other hand. So don't dig in too hard, don't force anything, shouldn't be uncomfortable, shouldn't be painful, should be a relatively comfortable stretch, and only do it for as long as you feel you need to, up to about 10 reps on each angle should be just fine. Another good one for your shoulders, to keep your chest open and activate those lower trap muscles and lats and all the muscles that are going to keep your shoulder blade nice and stable in a good position and not tilted forwards. You want to have your hands with your fingers pointing behind you, knees bent, and then you're just going to be seated on the ground. You're going to think about opening up your chest like we spoke about before. Open up your chest, you're going to push yourself away from the ground, so pushing through the hands and feet to lift the bottom off the ground and drawing the shoulder blades down. So you're also trying to keep a nice neutral back. You don't want to have a rounded back trying to do it because you're not going to be in a good position and you're going to be using your pecs. So open the chest, push yourself away from the ground, shoulder blades down, and think about pushing your chest out so you're really activating all those back muscles. Neck wants to be neutral, don't be looking up or hanging down. You want to be activating your neck muscles at the front. So just chin tucked, neck nice and long in the back. And then you're just going to hold it for as long as you can. Anywhere between 10 seconds, even 30 seconds is enough. But just hold it for a good quality amount of time. So after lengthening out the pecs, like we did before, we're going to get doing a movement that's going to activate all those muscles that are going to support the shoulder blade and draw the shoulders down to not be using these upper traps. Because a lot of the problem with shoulder issues is people are really overactive through the upper traps and the pecs as well. So they really use their upper trap muscle when they're doing any sort of movement with the arm and the pecs as well. So your shoulder's sitting in this position where it's not going to move optimally. You're not going to be able to even bring the arm up to full range of motion when your shoulder's sitting in that position. If you draw your shoulder back and down, you get much better movement through the actual shoulder joint. So what you're going to do is, on your hands and knees, try and have your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders, so don't be too close together. You want to try and create a bit of a square rectangle kind of shape there, and then all you're going to do, again, neck wants to be neutral, so tuck your chin back, and then you're going to think about drawing your shoulder blades down. So you should feel a little bit of a stretch happening around there. You also want to think about having that chest open, so lengthening, pulling the shoulder joint away from the socket, and you're just going to hold it for 3 or 4 seconds and then relax, and then go for repetitions. So really trying to lengthen from the ear to the upper trap, top of the shoulder, and relax.